The maker of the boat quite strikingly came out last week and essentially said his boat was unsinkable if a small number of safety regulations had been followed, and he said that the boat could not have sunk unless water had come on board. So people are now scratching their heads and trying to work out how the heck water did get on board, if that's what happened.
Now, the Italian media is reporting the captain of the Bayesian super yacht, which sank last week in Sicily, has been notified he's under investigation for multiple manslaughter and shipwreck. 7 people aboard the yacht, including the tech tycoon Mike Lynch and his daughter Hannah, died. Captain James Cuthbert survived with 8 other crew members. We can talk to James Imam, who's a freelance journalist who's been watching the story for the Times. Welcome to you, James.
Hi there.
James, can you tell us about this shadow hanging over the captain of that vessel?
Yes, well, the shadow has been hanging over him for some days. There's been quite a bit of speculation building over the last few hours that he was going to be formally placed under investigation. That really, after a flurry of reports this morning that he was about to be formally placed under investigation, confirmation came at about lunchtime, Italy time today. And that opens the way for prosecutors to start formally questioning the captain, James Cutfield, and trying to work out to what extent he was responsible for that shipwreck that killed a number of people, including Mike Lynch.
Right. Now, obviously, without any prejudice to coming investigations, for context, James, what would be expected of a skipper of a vessel like this with a storm of that kind coming in?
Well, the maker of the boat quite strikingly came out last week and essentially said his boat was unsinkable if a small number of safety regulations had been followed, and he said that the boat could not have sunk unless water had come on board. So people are now scratching their heads and trying to work out how the heck water did get on board, if that's what happened. Some experts have suggested that hatches were left open before the storm. People knew a storm was coming in. Fishermen were not out on the sea because they had been warned that a ferocious storm was on the way. Others have suggested that the passengers who were asleep in their cabins at the time, people suppose, should have been woken up and taken out of their cabins. Others suggest that the keel of the boat hadn't been lifted up, and that's what the preliminary investigations suggest. So really, there are a series of potential errors that seem to be stacking up against all members of the crew here, and investigators now are keen to work out exactly what had happened.
Is there any light you can cast for us, James, on when the investigations are going to yield results, answers to these questions?
It's likely to be a slow process. So all of this build-up has been towards the formalization of the investigative proceedings. What happened today was that the captain, James Cutfield, was given a notice, and he was informed that investigation is about to take place. So the next stage will be to carry out those investigations. Prosecutors said at a press conference on Saturday that they were likely to be extremely difficult investigations to carry out. I mean, the boat, for example, is still on the seabed. It needs to be brought up, and that's going to be a very complex and delicate operation.
Yeah.
And the members of the crew are likely to be subjected to very detailed questions.
Okay, James, thank you so much. That's James Imam reporting there.
Però sono in movimento.